Ooh, hey everybody, this is Larry. This is day 11 of the September Leetcode Day Challenge. Hit the like button, subscribe button, join me in Discord. Let me know what you think about today's poem. I am, I've been a New Yorker all my life pretty much. September 11 is always a little bit nuts. But I don't know. But today is Wednesday. I'm not going to talk more about that because I don't know. It is what it is. But, yeah, today is Wednesday, at least when I'm recording, and it is a nice rest day for me to just clean my apartment a little bit, to be honest, because I am, thankfully, honestly, every other video I'm talking about how tired I am not cleaning my apartment enough at all. It's not dirty, but it is messier than it could. It's not just organized. Things could be organized a little bit better. So that's what I'm going to try to do after this video a little bit more. At least get it all cleaned up a little bit. We'll see how that goes. But today, let's look at today's poem. We have 2785 short vowels in a string. Alright, so you have an S, permutate S to get new string such that all consonants remain their original value. For more formula, if the index A, okay, the values are non-decreasing of the ASCII value. Is it A, E, I, O, U? ASCII value is always the same as just A, E, I, O, U. So it should be pretty straightforward. There is a lowercase, uppercase thing. Do we have to, oh, actually then I am wrong. I was gonna say, I did say A, E, I, O, U, but ASCII value is actually a little bit different. They don't say that explicitly. Maybe it's here. I think it's here that, yeah, I think it's here that it is shown a little bit. But yeah, actually, I am curious. What is the default, Python sorting? Because, for example, I asked this, and maybe it seems obvious, and maybe not, but in C++ and C, for example, it actually does sort by ASCII value. As far as I know, I could be wrong. C#, for example, actually, I remember this because it actually messed me up on Top Coder once, 20 years ago or something. Maybe more than 20 years ago now. I don't remember when. But I remember there was a contest. I was going to win it, or not win it because there are a lot of smart people. I was going to win my room and make some money or something like that. There used to be cash prizes. And I remember that, yeah, I did competitive programming in C# at the time, which to show you can do any language really for the most part. Maybe not JavaScript. Sorry, JavaScript. But no, but... then C#, it was like a sorting, or one of the easier problems was a sorting problem. There are harder problems, of course, but the thing with the top coder, if you ever done it, is that you don't know if you're right until well, not right at the end, but there's a coding phase, there's a submission, or there's a coding phase with the submission phase, tiebreaker by time, and then there's a challenge phase. And then there's a system testing, right? So actually, when you submit, only at the very end do you know if you passed or not. So that means that you can submit something that hopefully at least pass for the examples, etc. But yeah, it turned out that for me, one of those quote unquote easier problems, and it is easy. It's just that even I didn't know that it would have sorted that way. In C#, there's a thing called, I don't know what it's called, but it just sorts by I guess the natural sorting, if you will, like capital A and lowercase a are sorted together. And I think there's like as part of the function for the sort, there's I don't remember if it's a compared or something, or a flag or something that's like you have to sort it by the ordinal value. So anyway, my point, and maybe that's a little fun, interesting story time. Hopefully that doesn't bite you. And I know that certain things, because I think I saw something similar in Advent of Code, or not in Advent of Code, but I was using something for Advent of Code where there's something similar where when you sort numbers, it actually doesn't always sort. I think actually maybe I made this up. Maybe it's not a language thing, but for example, an Apple Apple Photos and Directory Finder, right? Or maybe I am making it up, but I have a recollection somewhere, along the line, it actually sorts not by the number, but by the natural number, if you will, so that one goes before 11, which Actually, well, that one maybe made sense. But it also sorts 2 before 11, right? Which makes sense naturally. But not if you have something like, I mean, it makes sense. But if you have like this, you could, there are a lot of things where you would sort 11 before the 2. But in other places, apparently in the Apple ecosystem, I forget where I've seen this, 2 gets sorted after 11, which is, well, fine unless you are not expecting it, right? Like in terms of string, like the number obviously, but if you have a string of just the number or string 2, maybe with a prefix, like prefix prefix 11 gets sorted after 2, which may not be what you expect sometimes, right? So there are a lot of weird things of sorting like this, and just gonna give you a little bit story for ASCII things, right? So I am curious. So I do want to just see which one we get, right? Okay, so this one does seem to sort by ASCII value, which is it is more common. So I'm not saying I'm surprised, but I wouldn't be surprised if it went the other way, but I just forget sometimes because, I wouldn't say I know a lot of language, because if I did, maybe I would need to double check it. But I know enough about enough languages, I suppose. Okay. So anyway, hopefully that was a little bit of a fun aside for you. Okay, so maybe we have some indexes with values, right? So how do I want to write it? I mean, there's so many ways to write it. It doesn't matter. That's why I'm like, just thinking about it real quick. Right. So if f sub I lowercase of that is in AEIOU, right? Then maybe vowels dot append I, right? And maybe we just convert it to a list. Let's just go with answer, right? And then we could sort values by so values is contain the index, so the index we just sort it by s of I, right? And then and then now for I in range of n, if I guess you do it again. I mean, maybe you could write this another way. In that, like, you could make this into a set and do a lookup or something like that. But they're all fine, right? Then answer sub. Oh, I guess here. Oh, actually, the way that I did this is a little funky, isn't it? Because now we're saying that this is the first index that this is around. So then maybe the way I did this is very funky, honestly. And I mean, it's not wrong, and it's fine. Like, you could probably do something like so this will give you the index, so then you have to do something like that, right? And it's fine. It's just not pretty, I guess, right? Oh, well, maybe. Oh, I have to convert this back to a string. That's easy. I actually knew that, but I forgot. Like, when I was writing it, I knew it, but then I don't know, right? So I mean, so there are ways you can do it. Maybe, I don't know. This isn't super clean. You could probably, if this was more expensive, you would probably just cache it as well as a boolean or something. Maybe we could have just done that to begin with. I don't know. Let's give a quick submit. Hopefully I'm not making silly mistakes. 1990 day streak. That's a long number of days, right? I don't know, but I'm gonna keep it simple, right? So this is gonna be n log n, because this could be, well, everything just could be n RU. But actually, I think I think another thing that you can do, I mean, there's this sorting, which, like I said, is n log n, but you can take advantage of the fact that there are at most 10 of these things, right? 10 vowels, 5 of lowercase, 5 uppercase, put them in a map, and then do a counting sort, right? Or it's not even a counting sort, but you could just count it off, right? And then that would make it straight, easier. But I mean, not a big deal either way. I mean, for this one, n is small, I assume. I didn't even look at it. I mean, it's n log n is never going to be too slow. If you do sorting, I mean, like, there are expensive constants n log n, but this is not one of them, right? But yeah, but I think if I were to kind of not lazy and do it again and maybe think it about it a little bit, yeah, you have 10 things, you can do a counting sort, and then everything is bounded, and then you have a linear time thing, linear plus alpha, where alpha is the size of the alphabet or something. But yeah, that is all I have for this one. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Larry will clean this room. Stay good, stay healthy, do good mental health. I'll see y'all later and take care. Bye bye.